Hey folks, welcome back here to the Vegas Dawn Channel. We're here off of Losee, L-O-S-E-E Road, just north of Cary. We're going to turn around and go back towards Cary, C-A-R-E-Y, in a very industrial area of Las Vegas here. This being a Saturday, it's not as busy as it normally is during the week, but you usually have a ton of truck traffic. Apologies for the sun here. Get that out of our way in a moment. I'm gonna head up here to Cary. See downtown Las Vegas and the Strip there in the distance off to the left. 7-Eleven man. Shout out to 7-Eleven man. One of 165 7-Elevens here in Las Vegas. $3.25 a gallon for regular unleaded here. Cash price. I mentioned this in a previous video, but I want to point out we're going to go in here to Kiel Ranch right here, K-I-E-L, and then you have a Cintas facility here off to our right, but this is Kiel Ranch. So Kiel Ranch Historic Park, and so I'm going to go ahead and park here for a moment, and I'll pause it and I'll be right back. All right, so here is Kiel Ranch Historic Park. With sincere gratitude to Ernest Becker for his donation of 25 acres in '74, allowing for the historic and cultural preservation of the state of Nevada's, one of the state of Nevada's oldest ranches. This used to be, so let me see if I can get the history right here. This used to be a guy named Richard, I believe, Kiel, and he owned this ranch over here. And he was known for having a lot of what were considered degenerates on his property. And there's some history behind all that. But this was one of the first settlements here in Las Vegas. Here's a map. Location map. You are here. Right here at the star. So we have a spring habitat feature. Kiel timeline. White House feature. Restroom and parking. So we're going to go ahead and get over here. This looks like it's closed to the vehicular traffic, but it's open to pedestrians. So we'll get over here. We have a little gazebo over here. Park and trail rules. If you want to read that, pause it. You can go ahead and pause it there and read that one. A little gazebo over here. I did not bring the right shoes for this. I didn't realize they had all of this here. Let me try and stay on the beaten path here. Kiel Ranch Historical Park. It says there, Historic Park. Access to the ranch was from an old unpaved diagonal lane or ranch drive that connected the railroad route through Las Vegas and later to Losee. Lined with tall poplar trees irrigated from the spring, this drive would have been visible for miles on the flat desert. You can read the rest there. You can see, looks like that was an old, maybe barn or something there. And there's a sign over there that says Kiel Ranch Historic Park. Easy divorce, glamour era. 1939, Edwin Losi leased the Taylor Ranch and began an extensive remodel and building project to create the Boulderado Dude Ranch. Wealthy visitors stayed at the Dude Ranch, many to take advantage of the liberal divorce laws of the 1940s. Minimum residency requirements allowed privileged guests such as George Montgomery and Mickey Rooney to quietly divorce in luxury. However, casinos soon began to provide the same opportunity to divorce seekers, but with more glitz and privacy. This alternative, coupled with the liberal divorce laws across the country in the 50s, meant the glamour years of the Boulderado Dude Ranch were short-lived. Losi family then bought the 330-acre ranch and continued to operate the Boulderado Dude Ranch. However, they began to sell the property off piece by piece to developers until the last sale in 1961, when only 25 acres remained. Interesting. Society era, it says here, 1911. The Park family built their mansion, later known as the White House, a few hundred feet to the south of this sign. During this time, the land was a thriving forage, grain, vegetable, and fruit orchard operation with irrigation supplied from the spring. Reports state the White House was one of the few homes outside of Las Vegas to have electricity. And I'll get up here so you can read the rest of it. You can pause and read the rest of it. Shady character of Kiel Ranch was history. Tenants of the ranch traveled in social circles, regularly hosted recitals, concerts, bridge parties, and elegant dinners. You can see the photo down there. But they've put in, picnic tables and things of that nature in here. Railroad. Steel rails. Today, to the east of this site, the industrial park and still active railroad tracks are a reminder of the transformation the railroads brought. Kiel Ranch was purchased in 1901 by the Utah, Nevada, and the California Railroad, owned by U.S. Senator and mining magnate William Clark. Clark also acquired the Las Vegas Ranch in 1902. By 1905, he was using these right-of-ways between the ranches as an interstate route, with both ranches providing water, produce, and livestock for the railroad and its employees. And I'll go ahead and get up here so you can read the rest of it. Very interesting. Shout out to 7-Eleven man for encouraging me to get up here and take a look at this place. And can't get very close to this, but maybe you'll be able to zoom in and take a look at this. Very cool. Adobe Commissary. Hopefully you can zoom in and read that too as well. Settlements and farms, missionary era. Let you read about that there. You can pause it at your leisure. Cool stuff. I like that this is quiet. Well, for the most part. You can still hear road noise and stuff, but there's no one in here to really bother you. That's good. Water is life, this sign says up here. Water trickling from the spring today is a remnant of the ancient seas, the last ice age, and the wetlands and marshes that once covered the valley. You can read about that at your leisure there. There is the spring there. You can see it. Pretty cool stuff. They've sold off so much of the land here. You can see the little creek running through here. It's really cool because you never get to see that really in here in this town. And there is the little garden that they have going on in there. Complete with a wagon. Interesting. And here's a timeline. Let's start this from the bottom up, it looks like. And feel free to read that at your leisure. Railroad era, society era, and glamour area. And there's the little creek running right next to the edifice there. So yeah, you come in here and it's got this little round walkway in here. You can walk around and read about the history here at Kiel Ranch. And I mentioned in an earlier video, shout out to 7-Eleven man, one of the original settlers here, Helen Stewart, her husband came up here, whether on his own or otherwise, and he was unalived, just to be safe with my word usage. And so there remains a great deal of mystery about that as to who did that and how that happened. But given the notorious nature of this property at that time and its propensity for party, my guess is probably something a little nefarious going on there. That would be my guess. If you like drone videos, check out Vids from Mike, VIDS-FROM-MIKE. He does some awesome sunrise and sunset drone videos here in Las Vegas. Feel free to check those out. We'll pause it here for a moment. And so this is next to this Cintas, C-I-N-T-A-S facility. And then you have an Estes transport company over there across the street. But yeah, they definitely sold off pieces of this throughout the years. Fascinating. They don't really get into the history of Las Vegas all that much down on Fremont and the Strip. I guess they figure people don't care. But I would like to take a moment and say thank you all so very, very much for joining us. We really appreciate each and every single one of you. Please do like, follow, share, and subscribe to us on YouTube and on TikTok. It helps recommend us to other viewers on YouTube and TikTok. Also helps recommend us to the almighty algorithm. The almighty algorithm is what really carries the weight of your voice to other viewers here on YouTube and TikTok. Also check out our merch available. Let's take one more look here at the White House back there. Merch available at the Vegas Don logo on top of the Las Vegas Strip skyline. Maybe something for yourself, your significant other. And as always, remember here on the Vegas Don channel, it's the journey. Thank you all so very, very much for being here.